In this video, we're going to add a standard ladder logic section. As we come down the structural view of our program and we get to the program area, we see that there's different types of tasks. There's this master task, which has sections, and we can program in sections of logic. We have subroutine tasks, which can be called from the regular logic. And we have event tasks, which can be based on a cyclic timer or based on an I/O event sections of logic. In most cases, you're going to have standard logic, and we're just going to add a new section. And you can see we can program in one of the 6 languages. We're going to leave it in ladder and give it a name. We can also give it a condition. Based on this condition, it'll actually enable that section of logic to run or not, based on the value, whether it's a 1 or a 0. We will leave it blank here, and our logic is created. Right now, we're going to create a section of logic that just has a start-stop circuit, and it has a delayed time. So we'll grab some elements here, drag and drop. Go back to my cursor. To add a function to either ladder or function block diagram, you simply come here and you can right click, and I can add a function block input assistant. And here are some searches, the 3 dots here. So I don't want to look for the instance in the program, I want to look for all the function blocks that are available. So I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and we see that it's context sensitive. I have a filter here. My star says look for everything. And here's all the function blocks that are actually in the application. If I want to look at all of the function blocks that are available to us, you can see that there's quite a few more. I can also go into different categories and look based on category. If I want to use the filter and I kind of know what I'm looking for, I can use a star TON, looking that I'm going for a timer. I see only 1 comes up. I can double click. The help on type is a very good resource. Brings you right to the spot. And I can see here it shows representation of the function block and function block diagram, ladder, instruction list, as well as structured text. If I want to use this in structured text, for example, I can simply copy paste that into a structured text section and modify as needed. In our case, we're just going to say OK. And it drops down and we can move it around. We're not going to need the enable for this, so I'm going to double click and I'm going to unclick the enable, and I'm going to connect everything that we need to connect. So we're going to come here, and then for the preset time, the syntax for the timer is T-pound. So I'm going to add T-pound. And then minutes, seconds, hours. So in this case, I'm just going to put 3S for 3 seconds for this. Then I'm going to add an output. I'm going to come back to my cursor so I can drag it. I'll drag this to the end. Drag this to the end. And then we got to give our variable some names. So if I double click here, and I give it a variable, my underscore start. It sees that this variable isn't created, so it will create it for you when it knows that it's of type Boolean. So I click here on the green check. I'll create another variable. I will also create that variable. The red squiggly underneath it says the variable isn't created and it needs to be created. And I'm going to be very creative here and call this my out. Again, we have to green check on that. And now that we've already had that created, I double click here. That variable, I can actually go to the drop down list here and I see my out is there because it's been used in this session. And then here we're going to come and create another variable, my out underscore delayed. Again, that's a Boolean. Green check. Everything's set. We're going to build it to make sure there's no errors. While that's building, we can see that the TCP IP is a 127.0.0.1, so we know that we're in simulation mode here. We see that our project's not built. Hopefully there's no errors, and that will go to green when we're done building. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go online and simulate and show that we have this delayed circuit working. So here we are. We're going to connect to the simulator. So we're going to say PLC, connect. We see that we're built down in the bottom. We're on the simulator. We see the project is different. So now we have to go to PLC, transfer project to PLC, put it in run mode, transfer. And then I'm going to click on my stop. I'm going to set that to a 1. I'm going to go to my start. I'm going to set that to a 1. We see my output immediately turns on, and then 3 seconds later the delayed output comes on. Thank you.